It's officially time to get started on a new island. I saved the dream address for Sandalwood, and now it's time to begin again. We're going to be working towards the Friendsgiving Island Challenge created by Kaylee Games, and we'll go over the rules for that a little later in the video. But first, we're going to get started on finding the right island map, getting ourselves established, and yeah, so I'm going to get myself set up with the normal hairstyle, color, eyes, all of that good stuff to get started. Now I might have to re-roll a few times, just restart as much as I need to until I can find an orange airport, the right map with resident services, a decent distance from the airport, and the right villagers to start with. Unfortunately, with my luck, I'll get like a crappy villager and then they just never leave. So let's take a look at these first sets of map options. So far I'm seeing that the first, the second, and the fourth seem to be the best options. However, I don't want a double south river mouth, so it's going to be between 1 and 2. Let's try 1. Let's try to see if this one will be good, because I think it's got a good peninsula. Oh my gosh, and we have an orange airport. That's exactly what I want, but I'm not too sure about these villagers. We're going to be doing like a slightly witchy theme for this Friendsgiving Island, and I just think these guys are atrocious for that theme. Like, oh my god. And I just really can't stand the gorillas. I'm sorry if that's a hot take, but just buns out is not the vibe. So unfortunately I had to re-roll. And we're back picking a different set of maps. So I think between these, let's go with number 4. I'm curious to know what you guys pick to this little question. I don't think it really matters what you pick, like it doesn't impact the game, but I always pick food, so let me know in the comments down below what you always pick. Or maybe you pick something different every time. Okay, a green airport probably isn't gonna work, and I don't think these villagers will work either, even though they are really cute. But yeah, and I just think pretty sure this has peaches on the trees, and I know it doesn't really matter, but I don't know. It's just not it. Okay, and we're back with a different island. Yellow airport I could live with, but I don't know, it does kind of scream like spring or summer to me. And these villagers, they could probably work. I'd have to get rid of that yellow guy, which, by the way, I do not know villagers' names. Like, I have to literally look it up because I don't honestly know how people can just riff that off the top of their heads. So anyway, that's going to be a no. So let's try again. Here's our options here. I think between all of these, really our only options are 3 or 4. 3 is not what I'm imagining, especially the beach. Like, I just don't think it'll work. But I do think 4 would be okay. Resident services is far enough, and that peninsula is pretty decent. So let's check it out. Ooh, okay, we have oranges on the trees, which is ideal. Cross your fingers, guys. Oh my gosh, we have an orange airport, and we have Muffy and Leonardo. I actually do know their names. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Muffy would be perfect. Oh my god. Okay, let's run around the island a little bit just to make sure that it feels right. I mean, you can look at a map, but sometimes it does look different. So let's take a look here. Okay, this is a big beach, and I'm not probably going to decorate the beaches in this, but if I decide to do so, like maybe an idea will come to mind, I guess I could still use that. So honestly, I think this is a keeper. I think we're going to do it. All right, let's lock it in. Let's do this, Tom Nook. Let's do it. So I always start by putting my house, or tent I guess, and the first two villagers' tents on the beach, because then I can like have more space for everything else while I'm getting started, and then later I can just move them to where I want them, and I kind of map it out with the in-game pathing as to where I want each villager house to go. So I think this will be a good space for me. It'll also be nice and close to resident services, so I can kind of go back and forth. And then I never let my villagers choose where they go. Like, I'm sorry, but can you imagine that? Like, someone just like deciding where your house goes if this were you? I don't think I would allow that unless they were like an expert, which in this game I am. Let's be real. This island's all about me. So anyway, we've got these all set up and I think this is a good place to start. So let's move on. And these are the rules of this challenge. We have until November 30th to include these builds on the island: pumpkin patch, harvest market, outdoor feast, harvest parade, pumpkin contest, and a mush forest. And then we have to include one of these 4 options for our house. Now, basically, we just need to incorporate those things, and we can get items and villagers however we want. So I'll be using treasure islands because that really is my go-to with something like this. And then there are several creators who are going to be participating in this challenge, and I highly encourage you to check all of them out. So the avenue that I'm going to be going down for this is actually a witchy theme. And I know that sounds kind of weird given the requirements, but I really feel like I can make it work. And I just want to do something different than I did last year. So we're just going to try to switch it up and see how it goes. This is our island map, and I have decided to go with the name Spellwick. I actually used ChatGPT to help me come up with this. I'm picturing a foggy night with candlelight everywhere, twisted trees, and really we're just going to be focusing on the color scheme along with all of the requirements of this challenge. So I'm really excited to see how it turns out. I've never done anything like this before, but I am definitely inspired. So now it's time to grind. And honestly, how rude of Leonardo to just be standing there while I'm getting attacked. And why didn't he get attacked? Why is that how it works? I feel like they should get stung too. So now it's time to set a place for Blather's tent. And I'm not planning on upgrading it to like the full museum. So we have to make sure that this is the spot. And I think this will work good because I can't move it if I don't upgrade it. So fingers crossed this works. Now, I am just going to grind as much as I can to get to 3 stars so we can just focus on decorating. So here you'll see I did upgrade my house. I paid off that first little fee to Tom Nook, and I will be getting the Max Bells little cheat. You can do that by going to a certain treasure island. You can find them on Twitch. And pretty much anywhere online, there's several creators as well that provide them too. So highly encourage you to check those out if you need it. And it's time to take some medicine because I gotta fix that face. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming along this first journey with me to get started on the Friendsgiving challenge. I'm super excited, and I just really want to thank you for following along, and if you have any ideas, please feel free to share them with me. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. I can't wave, so I'm just going to run away.